In the previous video, I did a live unboxing, and this one is just going to be doing the first press with the mug press. It is already turned on and preheated. I had it comes actually already set to the middle heat as well as the middle time, which is, let's take a look at this. It is, so it actually says here, it's a level 3 heat for 80 seconds. So we'll see if that's enough. I should have all my supplies here. So obviously I printed out a reverse print here. This is a design I made on Canva. Canva is super fun and easy if you haven't tried it. It is free. I just inputted the size that I needed. So by measuring my tumbler here, it is 8 inches tall, and then it is around 9¼ inches. And so you type that into a custom size, and then you make your design. The background is from Design Bundles. It was a free background at one point. And so obviously it's duller because it is sublimation ink. And so what I'm going to do is, now that I've printed, I'm going to cut off all the white edges to get as close as possible. I did also buy this Cut cutter because it has a little wire, so I can be sure that I'm cutting it exactly where I want it on the line. So even with my other cutters, I found that it wasn't cutting exactly where I wanted it to be. So I had heard about this paper cutter, and because it has a little wire, you can see exactly where it's going to cut and make sure that you have your edge exactly where you want it and need it. And so I'm going to just cut off all the edges. And again, I love this thing. It's amazing. You can see with a little wire exactly where to cut. Totally worth it, especially when you're doing sublimation, because you need your lines straight and you want it right up to the print edge like this. So cutting off all the white edges. You could leave them, but I find it easier to cut it off completely. So there we go. Cut off all the edges. The next thing I'm gonna do is wrap the tumbler, and I want to make sure it's really tight. So I'm gonna wrap the tumbler, make sure it's super tight on here. So again, I'm gonna make the edges super tight edges, and it makes it right perfect. So really tight. And what you want to do is this is heat resistant tape. This is Cricut brand, but there are lots of different other brands. You don't have to use this one, but I like it. Works really well. So I'm going to use that and pull it tight on the edge. Probably put more so that it really stays tight. Make sure that it's edge to edge, and then do another one, tween, keep going. And then another one here. Again, just as tight as I can, this edge. So the good thing about this press is it actually holds it tight. And then the next thing we're going to do is some parchment paper. This is to protect your press so the ink doesn't get everywhere. Just going to wrap this around. tape on it. Like that. So now we're all wrapped and ready to go. This press is a little bit too big still. So it's made for mugs up to 15 ounces. So this is a skinny tumbler. So what I'm going to do to make it the right size is I bought these silicone sheets in different thicknesses. You can, again, also on Amazon, because I knew if I wanted to do different sizes, I would probably have to adjust the size. And so I'm going to put this in there. I want to make sure that I do it this way. And I think I'll cut down the top a little bit too, so hold on. Just so I don't have extra paper. This is just so I don't have extra paper at the top, parchment paper sticking out, carbon films. Because I am going to probably have to, I'm going to have to turn this around too. That was the other thing. Actually, I'll just fold it in because I will also have to, there's a little thing in there that kind of, I think, attaches to the cup at the bottom. It gets pushed in. So this is it. Make sure it's nice and straight. Put this in again. Make sure it's all protected. Push this down. I really will see how this works. So this one is automatic and it gets tight this way. And so I'm gonna push that. Oh. I think that was open. Let me try it. Oops. Okay, so I'm gonna let it go time-wise, and just in case, we'll also watch the time to make sure it doesn't go over. And let's see how long it goes. It's supposed to be for like 6 minutes, and then as you can see, there is a space here for if you have a mug for a handle. So what I'll probably have to do is turn it around a little bit as it's heating up. So it's supposed to open automatically when it's done. What I will also do is get some heat gloves, which I have down there, so that I can take it out when it's done. Okay. These are some heat resistant gloves, also got on Amazon. So I think as soon as this is done, it's supposed to open, and then we'll take it out. While I'm waiting, I have another one that I'm working on, so I'm going to cut that design out as well. I'm going to print and cut as we're just waiting, trying to be productive here. So as we're waiting, I can actually show you guys. As we're waiting, I can actually show you how to do this design on Canva. So hold on. What I will do is take a look. It sounds like it's done. I'm gonna open it. And again, gonna use my heat resistant gloves so I can take it out and probably turn it around a little bit this way because we want to make sure we get all the edges. Just closing again, and then we're gonna have it go one more time. Then I'm gonna turn it around to do the top side. Another option for this is actually to put it in a toaster oven. For that, you do need shrink wrap to keep it really tight and close. And this press is actually pushing it down so that the heat is getting evenly to the mug. At least I hope it's evenly. The other reason I got this one is the other one is a little bit more open, and I do have children. I'm always worried about getting them hurt. Okay, so let's take a look if you guys can see. So we're gonna start with Canva, canva.com. Then you go to create a new design and you can choose a custom size. So if we go all the way from the beginning, you would go here and you do create a new design, and you go down to the bottom. It says right here, custom size. So you pick custom size. You can put your dimensions. And like I said, I measured it and I knew it was 8 inches in height by 9.25 inches in width. And then you press create new design. And then you can design from here. This sounds like that's done. Ooh, you can see a little bit of steaming. So now I'm going to try to turn it over. And it looks like the design is coming through very nicely. You can already see it kind of coming through. But now what I'm going to do, like I said, is turn it completely over. Oh, it's hot. And so we want to turn it over. Ooh, steaming. With our silicone mat in place again. Okay, and then it's gonna go again. Turned over, so we can do the other side now. We'll see how this all works. Make sure it actually did come all the way through. Anyways, so then back to the designing. Then as we're waiting again, you'd go here. And you would choose you can choose pre-made templates if you want. So they have a bunch of free ones. You can upload your own pictures or graphics. And so here, I actually already had this, but I downloaded it. So you just say upload media, and that file is actually from, like I said, Design Bundles. And then I uploaded it, and then you can just slide it in. Ooh. Just slide it into there. Oh, or you can choose it that way. So this would be an example, but we're gonna delete the Mandalorian. Okay. So again, if we don't twist it a little, it'll still have that little crease. So So I'm going to twist it just a little bit to make sure it gets that area that didn't get done, that crease. And then we'll do it again. As it closes on us, make sure we do that whole thing. And I don't know, so it's just going all the way up, and I guess it stops when it thinks it's done. I will say, looking from the bottom, I might do it again just to make sure that it heats up properly. Anyway, so this is where I was designing wise, and then you can change the size of it. So I increase the size there, made sure I took up the whole space, and then added text. You can say whatever you would like. You can add, in this case I added a heading, but you can also change the font. There are tons of free fonts available on Canva. The ones with the little icon with the crown, those are the ones that you have to pay for, but the rest are all free, and they have some really nice ones. Like this one I really like. It's pretty nice. And so you can have your saying printed out on your sublimation printer. So I've converted a Epson ET2720 into a sublimation printer. I have another video about that if you want to see. And I think we're done. Let's take a look and see if it's heated up. Let's take that out. Let's just make sure it looks like it's come through. So one way I can always tell is if looking, you can see that it's come through. It actually looks like the bottom I have to do a little bit more because it hasn't come through completely. You can almost see that this one has come through, but the bottom one hasn't. So I'm going to do the bottom a little bit more. I'm going to wrap this again. And you definitely want to be using these gloves because it's really, really hot, even with these gloves on. So pushing this down again. Let's see if that presses a little bit more. And again, that's the thing, you do want to make sure the colors are showing through. You can almost see it through the paper because if it's not, that means it hasn't sublimated. Okay, so let's see how we're doing. So again, Canva is free. A lot of the designs I use are free. And so like I said, design bundles is the background. And just to go through a little bit more thoroughly, I can show you guys how to print. So this would be our mug. And we'll add a name. So you can have a name. And then to print it, you go to Share and Download. You can choose how you want to download it, a PNG or an SVG. I usually do a PNG. And then the most important thing though is, like I said, when you print, you want to make sure you completely reverse your image because it's going to be on, or else it'll be backward when you sublimate it on. And it looks like it's almost done. But so let's print as a PNG. In my case, it's download. And there it is. There's the design that I just made. And then when you print, make sure it's reversed and you're golden. Okay. So it is steaming a little bit, so I believe it is done. And let's hope that it got high and low enough so it heated it completely. So there was good overlap, and you can see here. So we can take off this and see what it looks like. And I hope that it pressed on. And again, you can kind of see where it's come through, yeah? So that's how you know usually that it's good. So take all that off, and then we'll take these gloves and try to take, oh, it looks good. Okay, so just peeling all this off, you can see the remnants. And there you go. So it came out really well. The dripping design came out perfectly, and the black showed up really well in this glitter. So if you have questions or concerns, leave them in the comments below. And this I will also link. All of these supplies are pretty much from Amazon. The glitter cup came with a straw, a little straw cleaner, and a cover as well. So thanks for watching.